G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we'll be looking at one from Corgi, of course. It is a bit of an older one. It is a Messerschmitt Bf 109E from Jagged 26, of course, and it is piloted by someone you should be aware of, Adolf Galland, one of Luftwaffe's most famous aces, although his aerial victories weren't as high as many of his other Luftwaffe comrades during World War II. But his tally of 104 aerial victories, all on the west, of course, is nothing to be sneezed at. But it would be his leadership and other actions that made this charismatic cigar-chomping ace one of Luftwaffe's most recognisable pilots of World War II, including his role in the fighter pilots' revolt in early 1945. Post-war, he would work with the Argentine Air Force and even wrote a best-selling autobiography, Der Ersten und der Letzten, The First and the Last. I do hope I pronounced that properly. I have probably butchered that German, unfortunately. I do apologise to any German viewers. Now, that book sold over 3 million copies, and Galland would pass away at his home in 1996, aged 83. So this is his aircraft. Does look pretty cool. It does have the usual information inside on that flap on these Corgi ones, and that pretty cool looking Messerschmitt in there. We should be able to release this 109 like so. Now, yes, it does have a collector card, so it is quite a large card too. So there was a limited run of, wow, 6,100. This is back in the day when lots of people enjoyed collecting diecast, unlike today, I guess. So I don't think we'll see numbers of that sort for a long time, unless people start getting into this hobby. And hopefully doing these videos will help some people get into this hobby. So you do have your normal layout. You've got your little stand here, which is with those clear round bases, as you can obviously see. And you just put it together. I'm not a big fan of those because when you put the aircraft on there, it's a bit knobbly, and it does move around too. So, but yeah, that's the base for you. You do have your landing gear options. We'll get the aircraft out. That should be straightforward. So we've got yellow 16 here. We'll get those landing gear options out, and we might as well put the in-flight ones in for you. Hopefully I can do it properly, or not. I don't know how well they will stay in. Hopefully they will. Being an older one, we can only hope that it goes together nicely, which it does. We'll start underneath. We'll zoom in and have a little look at the details, because in 1/72 scale, 109s are quite small. You don't realise how small an aircraft the 109 is until you sort of compare them, especially to a jug. I mean, these are almost half the size. But the tail wheel on there, you can sort of, I suppose, if you're going to get picky, see a slight gap there. For those diecast people that do get a little bit pickier. For me, it's not too bad. I mean, it's a diecast model, so yeah, if you want to get things 100% perfect, build a model kit, I suppose. But the landing gear options went in nicely. It's got the little plugs in there, which is good, covers those screw holes, and obviously that's your stand hole. The livery itself looks very presentable. Propeller, spins beautifully. That's fantastic. The older Corgi ones, they had some propeller oil, but the details, beautiful. Yeah, really nicely done. I'm not sure if the cowl, it does. Okay, so the cowl comes off, does reveal some engine detail, which is pretty cool. It's always a nice little feature that Corgi did on these ones. So there is a little Adolf Galland sitting right in there. I don't think he's got a cigar in his mouth, but it is really cool. He did have a little cigar lighter in his aircraft too, so he is a bit of a character. It's got the aerial victories on that big blue section there. Very unusual how that's done. But the livery itself, it's pretty cool. It's got little sort of a Mickey Mouse on the emblem under there, and the JG 26 emblem there. If I can have it focused, the greens are quite hard to distinguish between the two greens on this sort of splinter camouflage too. I don't know if that's incorrect or not. It's really hard to tell because the variation in camouflage schemes on 109s throughout the war. Yeah, sometimes they can look completely different in a lot of ways. But overall, I think this does present very nicely. And if you want to chuck it on this stand, you just stick it in there, and your big old stand hole, and that is your Adolf Galland 109E set up for in flight, of course. And if you want to play with your propellers, you can go for it because it does move very nicely. All right, what we'll do is, oh, geez, might as well chuck it on the landing gear. Surely I can't stuff that up. Hey, let's see if I can. Oh. Well, there we go. Let's see which option fits. It might be the other option. Yep, I'm going to take you for a boring ride of me trying to fit these landing gear options in there. They are a bit of a... Oh, so it just comes right off. That is not very good. Got that one off. I wasn't pressing too hard. Helps if I put it in the right way. Yeah, they're a bit of a sort of a pain to put on, actually. They don't want to go in, so yeah, I'll do it off camera because I'm not going to keep boring the shit out of you, so I'm not that cruel. All right, let's come back in a second. All right, we're back. The landing gear options is just terrible. It would not fit in. Eventually, when I did get them to fit in, they just drop out as well. They don't look right either. they just they look really wonky. I've tried putting some blue tack in there to try and keep them in place. Yeah, a bit disappointing. The gear down option is it's just shit. What I did notice too, my antenna's missing, so from there, so that's unfortunate when buying a second-hand model. And another thing, I don't know if you've noticed it too, but the MGs in the cowl there are not there. So yeah, there's a few things going on or going wrong with this particular model, especially gear down, just freaking atrocious. So we'll see how she sits on that landing gear. Yeah, definitely shit. Gear down, shit, absolutely. I don't think because of the age and because it's second-hand, that's why it's not going together right. It's just, it doesn't hold the weight, it doesn't go in properly. The gear up option went in nicely, everything like that for in-flight. That is fine, but yeah, gear down, no bueno. So that's, it doesn't even like go, yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, what we'll do though is we'll put this on the scales and see what it does weigh. We'll just chuck it down like that. There you go, there's the wheels. 87 grams. I'm a little bit disappointed, the fact that this, especially a Galland one, it's yeah, it's a little bit disappointing, but I'll chuck another aerial on this. I'll fix the aerial. And the only other way is if you glue the landing gear options into place. That is going to be the only way you'll be able to have it gear down on mine anyway. Let me know in the comments below if you've got one of these. Obviously, because they're old, a lot of you may well. And because there's like 6,000 or 6,100 of them made, they definitely will be out there. So hopefully if you do like, well, if you do like them in flight, definitely 100%. Make sure yours has got the antenna on the spine there. Otherwise, you'll be a little bit disappointed. But yeah, definitely the in-flight, a lot better. But gear down was just absolutely poo. That is a little bit unfortunate. And I'll have to glue my landing gear in to have it, yeah, be able to sit there and not fall down all the time. But yeah, overall, pretty cool. The livery itself is pretty cool. Just, yeah, and with the lacking MGs and the cowling, a little bit strange as well. I'm not sure, maybe that's an issue with the earlier ones. I'm pretty sure later Corgi models, you can see little MGs sticking out. Yeah, all right, well, I'll stop having a whinge and I'll wind up the video. Of course, thank you, the viewer, for dropping past and checking out another one of our videos, especially one of these older ones. I hope you did enjoy what you saw at least, and it wasn't too boring for you. Sausage finger test, usual 109 size for 1/72 scale. As I mentioned, they are not the largest World War II fighter. So the photos, yes, I'll throw at the end. Don't forget some of those. If you enjoyed the video, you don't have to like the plane, but hopefully the video was enjoyable enough to score me some of those from you. And as I mentioned, drop a comment. Feel free to punch that subscribe button if you're watching and haven't done that as well. All right, everyone. Happy hunting for your next model, of course, and you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.